to Hospitality Property School. You are listening to Hospitality Property School with your host, Jerry McPherson. Welcome to another edition of Hospitality Property School. I'm your host, Jerry McPherson, and today we are going to talk about creating an effective website. Now, in this age of internet and social media, having a website is essential to developing your property's brand. It is fine to present your business in the flesh and traditional media, but if you don't have at least a website, you're going to seem old-fashioned and probably unapproachable. The look of your website will influence guests on the type of property you are. If your website looks dull and boring, potential guests will think your property is dull and boring. If your website looks fun and vibrant, your guests will think your property is fun and vibrant. Your website should tell your story. Tell your story proudly, and if your guests feel like they're part of that story, this will help build your brand into a big name. So in this session, whether you are starting from scratch, rebranding your property, or just doing a little tweaking, I will go through, in a step-by-step fashion, why and what items are needed for your website. Now let's start with your domain name. Your domain name should be your website name. Now this might seem obvious to some of you, but you would be surprised at how many hospitality properties I have seen that has a domain name that is not the same or does not reflect the name of their property. When marketing your property, the first thing you want people to think of is your property's name, and almost 100% of the time when searching for your property online, people are going to use that name. What is better, long or short domain names? If you put 100 website developers into a room, half will say long, the other half will say short. One thing everyone does agree on is that domain names should be no longer than 67 characters, and I would include spaces in that length. Choosing your web host. When choosing a web host, you have many options. Companies such as HostGator.com or GoDaddy.com are popular and full service, but it's worth the time to ask and shop around for the host that will best serve your needs. You can do this by snooping around online, looking at your competitors' sites, or asking colleagues. There are free web hosts out there, but most have advertising that could take away from your site's design or contain hidden texts on its pages without you knowing. This could lead to your website being penalized by search engines through no fault of your own. I would personally stay clear of these free sites. Once you have settled on a domain name and a web host, the next step is to design the website itself. Now you should consider these options. If you're hands-on or have an employee that is comfortable with program coding, you can use a responsive web design program to build a site such as Adobe's Dreamweaver or a free version called Kompzer. Personally, I like WordPress. This is an open source website publishing platform with a wide variety of both free and fee themes that will meet almost everyone's design wish. Another option is to hire a professional website designer. Now, before you go lay out your hard-earned cash, make sure your designer is clear about exactly what you want on your site. The first thing you should do is put your thoughts to paper. Look at other successful sites and take from them the things you like and sketch out the way you would like your website to look. A rule I live by is using the KISS formula. Keep it simply simple. The simpler the structure of your site, the easier it is for your users to navigate, and you want your visitors to be able to navigate your site simply. When sketching your design, ask yourself these questions. Is my information there and is it clear? Is my information going to be easy to find? And if I'm going to have navigation buttons, are they going to be consistent? Your pages should look good, but they should not be so full that they're slow to load. Here are a few simple tips that you may want to consider. Don't overindulge in text. Make sure your text is readable. Now, I find a white or a light background with a black or a dark text works best. Your website has to be mobile friendly. Your color theme should be consistent, otherwise your site can be overwhelming to your visitors' eyes. I believe clear images are imperative. Visitors want to see what they're getting, so include a gallery with photographs of your rooms, your common areas, and the on-site surroundings. I also really like videos. A short, welcoming video on your homepage is always great for grabbing your visitors' attention. And a great banner can have an impact on whether the visitor stays on your page or not. Have a blog. I once was chatting with an owner of a property and suggested he should consider having his own blog. He told me he had nothing to write about and then spent the next 2 hours telling me stories about his property and the area. We all have stories to share. Now, your site may look beautiful, but it's your content that carries the day. A few people might return to your site just to admire the images, but they will be back to read what you have to say. Blogging on a regular basis can have huge benefits. Benefits from more visitors to your website and your property. Okay, that's it for today. If you have any interesting stories about creating an effective website and would like to share, or have any questions and feedback, please leave them in the comments section of the show notes at KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com/KHDC023. That's KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com, episode 23. Well, that's it for today's session of Hospitality Property School. As I mentioned, we do really appreciate your comments, and if you have any topic ideas, please feel free to reach out to us on Facebook at facebook.com/KeystoneHDC, on Twitter at twitter.com/KeystoneHDC, or by email at info@KeystoneHospitalityDevelopment.com. So, as always, let's work together to put heads in your beds. Until next time, have a fun day. This session of Hospitality Property School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe so as not to miss any hospitality property tactics and strategies that will help you find the success you have always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best content possible. We will see you next time, right here in Hospitality Property School.